Hello everybody, this is Binu Peniel again. Let me ask you a question today. What is your relationship to fear? One of my experience connected with that is when I was on the first day when I entered into a college. I was supposed to attend a Hindi language class in my college. As a student, you need to have a second language. My teacher asked me to stand up and read a passage in Hindi from the textbook. I don't know how to read that language very fluently. She made fun of me and when I made few mistakes. She did this because she wanted to acquire power in the class. So she chose the last row in the classroom. It came out of her fear of losing control. Fear is an opportunity to identify that you need a change. If you find that you continue to struggle with micromanagement, if you continue to struggle with your personal fears in your life, it'll be a time for you to get help from a counselor or from a coach. Let me ask you this. What are you afraid of? Are you having fear about your failure? Or sometimes it could be your success. Please comment below and name some of your fears. Everyone is struggling some extent with some fears. When was the last time you challenged yourself? Is it being seen? Your writing being criticized? Your failure in your business? Proving your parents right or wrong? Your writer friends judging you? Afraid about how you speak in public? We all have fears. All others are afraid. Recently I just wrote my book called Cavenomic. Every one of us are afraid of one or another thing. I heard about a New York Times best-selling author that she had a great fear of writing her next book. Pretending that those fears don't exist will only keep them bottled up inside and drive you crazy. Are you fighting your fears? My advice to you today is don't fight your fear, but embrace it. It is your body a way of telling that you're ready for a change. Here is a misconception about change. People often think about that what makes an impact. You need a powerful leader or a clear vision. I wanted to talk to you today about fear. If you are alive right now, you could make the argument that it is because you have a particular relationship with fear. You could also argue that the relationship is built upon your ability to say no or no to things. If I tell you like let's go up to the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in Dubai, some of you may say that no, I don't want to go there. So you just already closed the option of fear or the opportunity that lies, the privilege of seeing the world from the tallest building in the world. You just say no to that. Every one of us struggle with fear. You may say, I don't want to go up. I don't want to expose myself to anything that is fearful. Nevertheless, we all have our own relationship to fear. We all have our own willingness to say yes or no to certain things. The interesting thing about our relationship with fear, though, is that you will employ it even in times when you are not actually in any danger. You are standing on the ground. You are on a safe place. So consider that, make sure that you are not on a war ground. Make sure you are not on a gunpoint. You are probably not in any danger. So there is no possibility for fear. Behavioral therapist deals with fear through classical conditioning. All behavior is learned and unfortunately they are faulty learning. That actually gives you a privilege of unlearning. Many behavior therapists use 3 techniques such as systematic desensitization, aversion, and flooding. These are the 3 techniques used by behavior therapists to deal with fear. It's like a classical condition to break the association between stimulus and response. For example, if you are in the area of fear in high places, or if you identify your fear, the therapist will take you to have a systematic desensitization. Later, you will become accustomed and not to fear about the things. The second technique is about aversion therapy. It is used when there are stimulus situations and associated behavior patterns that are attractive to the client, both which the therapist and the client both regard or undesire about it. So it kind of like, for example, if you are not interested, you're an alcoholic, you are addicted to alcoholism or alcohol, and you will be forced to, for example, a rubber band on your hand. Whenever you see a pub, or whenever you see a possibility of that you get attracted to alcohol, that you just create a pain on your body, or an electric shock, a small electric shock, which will give you an understanding that you are most probably triggered to go and grab more liquor and alcohol so that you get drunk. Behavior therapist actually helps you to identify those triggers and then help you to work with those. The aversion therapy is actually used in that format. For example, when you, just like the example I said, if you wanted to go to a pub or consume large amount of alcohol, you will be given this trigger, identify those triggers so that you will get out of this. The client thus learned to associate the undesirable behavior with an electric shock or another painful thing, and a link is formed between undesirable behavior and the relaxed response of an electric shock or a pain. Another technique is used by behavior therapists is called flooding. It's also known as impulsion therapy. Works by exposing the patient directly into their own worst fears. He or she is thrown into a deep end. For example, a claustrophobic will be locked in a closet for about 4 hours, or individual with fear of flying will be put into a smaller aircraft and things like that. It's a technique called flooding. Do you know fear and worries are brothers? Many of us are afraid about the unknown. It is unhealthy, and it is also imprisons us. Another side of fear is freedom. Fear of being embarrassed, fear of being rejected, fear of being doing something dumb, or fear of change, fear of loss, fear of wasting time, fear of losing opportunity. We all have so many, fear of dying, fear of leaving. We have all kind of fears that associated with our life. I'm going to give you 4 different clues to get out of fear in your life. The first one is pause and take deep breath. The second one is notice fear and its details. The fourth one is embrace fear and welcome it. The fourth one is identify the opportunity with fear. When I was learning transaction analysis, for example, Eric Berne actually talked about 3 different ego states. The first one he calls a parent ego state, parent ego state, adult ego state, and child ego state. Mainly the fear is coming from an ego state called child ego state. Eric Berne also divides this child ego state into two areas. So first one is obedient child, and the next one is disobeying child, and the next one is other one is nurturing child or obedient child. I think the fear is actually, according to my understanding, fear is coming from the child ego state. Or sometimes it can be from a disobedient child or from a nurturing child. Fear can be a solution for you to just to get away from the duties or responsibilities that you need to perform. Let me deal with that issue. If you are interested to listening about more about it, please give me a comment or tell me about the fears that you have so that I can just do another video in the following week about fear. And you are listening to Cavenomic. This is Binu Peniel, and I hope the videos or the content that I'm talking about will help you to, live a better life. This is Cavenomic, turning towards light, and help you to be a better person. So please subscribe and please sign up to my email list, and I hope you will enjoy this on a weekly basis. Please share and comment, and I love you all, and you can do nothing about it. God bless you, and thank you for listening, and thank you for sharing. May God bless you. Have a wonderful day.